Today the video is about the damage of neglect and retaliation. Now the reason I kind of put retaliation and neglect together, because so many times we look at retaliation as the thing that you do, but a lot of times retaliation is what you won't or refuse to do. Now let's examine this a little closer. And God gave me this word one morning when I woke up. I heard my dog outside, and he had a kind of a different bark. But I also remembered that bark about 2 o'clock a.m. But I was so tired, I just kind of, he's just outside doing what a dog will do. So I neglected to get up and check. Well, the next morning when I got up, I saw some messed up wires on the AC. Okay, exterior wire, no big problem. Repaired the wire, but the AC still wouldn't work. Well, as I came inside and started to examine it a little bit closer, I found that internal circuits had been damaged. All because I did not get up and check. So many times in our marriage and in our interpersonal relationships, there's something going on with our spouse or that significant other, but it ain't that important. I just get up and check it later. Well, what ends up happening is it causes a damage on the inside, down to the core of who that person is, because you thought, I'm just tired. But to them, they don't care. And so many times we damage the ones we love because we don't do what we should do. Or other times, it's a retaliation where you did this to me, so I'm not getting up to check on you, or I'm not going to do this for you because of what you did to me. Here's my personal thing, because I believe in being totally open and totally honest. And as God reveals things to me, I have no problem telling you where I fell short. In my own relationship with my wife. There were some things she said, and those things hurt me, cut me to my core. Well, all of a sudden it's time to take her out to dinner, but I ain't going out to dinner. I didn't look at that as retaliation. I was just like, I'll find something else to do. But that was retaliation. And that retaliation was a neglect, and it caused some issues in her. So now she's angry, and guess what? It's my fault. If I continue to love like Jesus loved, and continue to do what I should have done, and ignored the fact that I was hurt. Because see, the love of Christ involves being willing to die to yourself. As you look at what happened with Jesus, he was beat, bruised, spit on for his bride, for his significant other. Yet so many times when it comes to our significant other, the moment they hurt us, we either retaliate by doing something to them, or we retaliate by not doing something for them that we would have done if they hadn't hurt our feelings. So I say to you out there in internet land, on Facebook and on YouTube, be careful how you treat your spouse. Be careful how you treat that significant relationship in your life. Don't neglect them. Do not retaliate against them. Because that's really all it is. It's I'm going to get you back for what you did to me. And that's 150% wrong. The Bible says in 1 Peter 2:24, spoke about how Jesus, when he was beaten, when he was spit on, all these things were done to him. He did not retaliate. Now think about that. He didn't neglect us. Even when we were beating him. Even when we were spitting on him. Even when we were lying on him. He still said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How many times have we not forgiven our spouse because they didn't know what they were doing? That sometimes we're programmed to do certain things from our childhood, and I want to do a whole series on that. Because there's so many things that happen in our childhood that is why we do what we do when we become adults. And a lot of times we don't realize it. I mean, in my own personal life, I retaliated as a form of, that's how I got you back. When I was young, it was a fight. As I got older, I would run. Or I would just ignore you and act like you weren't there. Either way, it was retaliation. And it took God to reveal it to me. And that's why I'm here to tell you about it. So you don't do the same thing or make the same mistake. If you really love somebody, truly love them with the love of God, don't retaliate. Because Jesus was the example to us. And in that example, when we beat him, when we spit on him, when we lied on him, when we talked about it, when we did all these things, yet he continued to go to that cross. He continued to carry the cross just for us. When they were pushing the nails through his hands, and that pain was so intense. When they beat him with the cat o' nine tails, and the pain was so intense, he could have retaliated, but he didn't. That's the true love of God, the true love of Christ. I will be the first to tell you that I failed in that. But now that I understand what Jesus did for me, now I can do that for others, especially my first and most important ministry. Christ is my first, but my family is my earthly first ministry. My wife and children, which we don't have the children yet, but by faith we will. So God bless you. I pray that you continue to watch. And remember, do not retaliate. Because retaliation is not just what you do, it's also what you don't do. Continue to love. God bless you.
Mentally, you've captured me. In my mind, I am free. In my heart, if I am yours.